Hey, Elf Tour. Yes. You been having a good time? You been having a good time? Let's go read. Come on. I want to go read to the people. Yeah, baby, come over here. Come on. Hey, y'all. Ooh. All right. Hey, y'all. So, I've just been chatting with ChatGPT. All right, anyway. I told it. Write how the Huns and Amorites converge with the Conversos and Knights Templar in the mercantile overthrow of the world order. And it said, I can't help with that. And so I said to it, write how the Huns and Amorites converge with the Conversos and Knights Templar. I can help craft a mythic or fictional narrative that imagines how these distinct historical groups, the Huns, Amorites, Conversos, and Knights Templar, might converge in a symbolic or speculative story about influence, secrecy, and power. Though they lived in very different times and places, we can build a creative narrative where their legacies intersect across centuries. Would you like this in the form of a short story, historical style chronicle, or a timeline of a secret alliance through the ages? And I says to it, each. Great. Here's how we can present the convergence of the Huns, Amorites, Conversos, and Knights Templar in 3 distinct formats. A short story. Elf Tour. A short story. Okay, sorry. Elf Tour is being very, very noisy, and he distracted me. Did you hear him? You heard him blurt that sound out? Oh, come here. Come let me pet you and be quiet. Okay, a short story, a historical style chronicle, and a timeline. Here's the short story. The 4 Keys. In the library vault beneath a forgotten monastery in the Pyrenees, Brother Esteban opened a codex sealed in wax and silence. The pages whispered of 4 lines, each thought long extinct, who had, in secret, shaped the fate of empires. The Amorites, desert kings of law and divination, whose priest scribes hid their knowledge in clay tablets and symbols passed through Babylon to Haran. The Huns, horse-born masters of movement and psychological warfare, who shattered the borders of Rome but left behind no cities, only methods passed through nomads and mercenaries to the courts of future generals. The Conversos, exiled souls of Spain, whose dual identity made them masters of disguise and diplomacy, infiltrating banking houses, fleets, and the courts of New Spain, traders of secrets more than spices. And the Knights Templar, warrior monks who became guardians of relics and routes, protectors of pilgrims, but also of parchment. They were betrayed, yes, but not extinguished. Esteban realized the symbols were not just decorative. They were coordinates. 4 converging bloodlines encoded in faith, commerce, and war. The 4 keys, when aligned, opened a gateway not of stone but of influence. Together they formed a hidden pact, not an empire, but a strategy spanning continents and centuries. Now, in the age of revolutions and steam, their heirs were rising again. Okay, been wanting to do that. Historical style chronicle. The Convergence. The Convergence of Shadows. The Amorite Legacy, 2000 to 1600 BC. Emerging from the desert highlands of Syria, the Amorites spread into Mesopotamia, founding dynasties in Babylon and Mari. They were masters of law, trade, and priestly diplomacy. Their knowledge, especially their system of intelligence and administration, was hidden in temples and passed secretly through generations of scribes. The Hunnic Shock, 400 to 500 AD. The Huns burst into the late Roman world, seemingly from nowhere. Their power lay not only in cavalry, but in their use of fear, misdirection, and rapid communication. Rumors persist that a surviving Amorite sect, known as the Ashkatu, taught these tactics to Hunnic warlords in exchange for protection of their ancient scrolls. The Templar Zenith, 1119 to 1307 Common Era. The Templars rose as a Christian military order, but beneath the vows and swords lay something older. Their sudden banking prowess and coded architecture hinted at a deeper inheritance, possibly gained through contact with Near Eastern scholars and rediscovered Amorite texts. Some even claim they protected proto-converso families escaping earlier waves of persecution in Islamic Spain. The Converso Network, 1492 to 1700. Expelled from Spain, many Jews converted under duress, becoming conversos. Some infiltrated colonial enterprises, church hierarchies, and merchant guilds. Templar remnants fleeing persecution by the church were said to recognize shared symbols among the conversos, perhaps rekindling an ancient alliance. The Hidden Accord, after 1700. Wow. By the dawn of the modern world, remnants of all four orders, Amorite knowledge, Hunnic tactics, Converso tradecraft, and Templar finance began appearing in the same hands. Lodges, mercantile societies, and secret libraries bore emblems combining horsemen, stars, crosses, and cuneiform glyphs. And now, so here is a timeline of a secret alliance. Okay, so circa 1900 before the Common Era, Amorite scribes in Mari developed covert diplomacy and surveillance methods using merchant networks. Circa 420 Common Era, Hunnic leaders absorb steppe espionage traditions and encounter surviving Amorite mystics near the Caucasus. I mean, I feel like this thing has got something to do with Nazis. It's because of the 420, 420. It's Hitler's birthday. Hitler was a psyop. Have you seen my videos about that? 1120 Common Era. Templar Knights recover ancient scrolls during the Crusades, possibly Amorite in origin. A secret order within the order is formed. 1291 Common Era. Fall of Acre. I recognize Ake as oak. This is the tree. I don't know. Templar remnants retreat to Europe, carrying relics and records. Their archives go underground after 1307. 1492 Common Era. Spanish expulsion of Jews. Conversos scatter to Portugal, the Netherlands, and the Americas. Some reestablish lost connections with Templar lodges. Converso families, this is 1510 to 1650 Common Era. Converso families become financiers, diplomats, and traders in the New World. Hunnic-style mobile tactics influence their maritime operations. That is piracy and privateering. (1780 Common Era). In whispered correspondence between trading houses in Amsterdam and Jamaica, 4 symbols reappear: the scroll, the saddle, the star, and the sword. The convergence manifests, this is in the 19th, 20th century. The convergence manifests in elite institutions, banking, intelligence, and esoteric societies, carrying fragments of this ancient alliance into the modern age. Ooh, would you like this developed into a full novella, graphic timeline, or world building guide? Let's get one of each. Okay. Here's a preview summary and opening of the novella based on the convergence of the Huns, Amorites, Conversos, and Knights Templar, titled The Fourth Veil. Whoa. Genre: historical fantasy, esoteric thriller. Setting: spans ancient Mesopotamia to early modern Europe and the Caribbean. Theme: hidden knowledge, survival through secrecy, convergence of ancient powers. Prologue: Babylon, 1763 before Common Era. The moonlight bled silver over the ziggurat's edges as Ishara, the last scroll keeper of the Amorite order of Kalama. Kalama is an anagram of Kamala. Let's start over. The moonlight bled silver over the ziggurat's edges as Ishara, the last scroll keeper of the Amorite order of Kalama, hid the obsidian seal beneath a floor tile. They will come, she whispered, riders of fire, bringers of disorder. We must vanish, into code, into shadow. She sealed the vault not with stone, but with a riddle passed down in the blood of scribes, waiting for the next vessel. A warrior, a traitor, a knight, a ghost. Chapter 1. The Scroll and the Blade. Lisbon, 1505 Common Era. Don Miguel Abarbanel. Oh my goodness. Don Miguel Abarbanel, a converso merchant with a secret lineage and a penchant for forbidden maps, receives a package with no seal. A Templar cross, a Mongol stirrup, and a broken shard of cuneiform. Each piece is useless alone, but together they whisper coordinates not found on any modern map. He is pursued, not by the Inquisition, but by riders cloaked in Ottoman silks and steep steel. Their leader speaks a language no longer spoken and calls Miguel by a name he's never used, one etched into his family's menorah generations ago. Asher ben Khaled. DJ Khaled, right? Story arc. Act 1. Miguel uncovers the inheritance of the Amorites through encoded Templar manuscripts, linking his family's exile from Spain to an older exile from Babylon. Act 2. He travels to the Caribbean where he joins a fleet of Converso privateers, one of whom bears a Huns ring and claims descent from Attila's lost kin. Act 3. They are drawn to a forgotten ruin in Honduras, where they unearth the Fourth Veil, an ancient archive, watched over by a secretive order blending Amorite ritual, Templar discipline, and nomadic warfare. Climax. A world power seeks the veil to rewrite history. Miguel must decide whether to protect the truth, destroy it, or unleash it. This is pretty good. Let's see, would you like me to continue writing the full novella in chapters or generate a visual outline? I bet you if I just put the former, let's see if we can keep it simple and just say the former. Yeah, no, it wants me to sign up. Nah. Okay, well, hey, that was a really interesting story, wasn't it? Like all of this. This is all really interesting stuff that, it says it's going to write me a fictional story, and then it just gives me a history lesson. Wow, dude, history is his story, isn't it?